Now let's talk about Excel ranges. Range is an important part of Excel because it allows you to work with selection of cells. And there are four different operations of selection. We have selecting a cell, selecting multiple cells, selecting a column, and selecting a row. Let's check how these actually work. Now, when you go to Excel, range is more or less like selecting multiple cells. So if I drag two cells together, like you just take your mouse and click and drag to another cell, two cells become selected. This is a range. So when you have two or more cells selected together, we call it range. Now I can also drag down, that is a range. Or you can come here, if you want to select an entire column, you can just come to the top of the column and then click on it. We have column A selected. If you should hold your control and select another column, you see that both columns are now selected. So you can also select an entire row by coming to the row number and click on it. And if you want to select multiple rows, just hold your control and select the row. You have both rows selected. So this is how you can select multiple cells together. You can click and drag. You can select like this. You can also select cells that are not consecutive. So I can select D6, hold my control and select M9. You can see that both cells are selected. I can also hold my control, select this. So that's how to select your cells. Now let's go to Excel filling. Filling is used to fill ranges with values so that you do not have to type manual entries. Filling can be used for copying sequences, dates, functions, and some other stuff. Let's look at how this works. So let's assume I want to write 1 to 10. So I can decide to write 1, enter 2, enter 3, enter 4, enter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But this actually becomes stressful if I am typing down to 50 or to 100. So I can decide to just type 1, 2, and enter. And I'll just have to select both columns, sorry, both cells, and take my mouse down to the bottom left corner of the second cell, and you're going to see that the mouse cursor is going to change to a black cross. Now here I just have its big cursor, a big plus kind of. Now by the time I take my mouse down to the bottom here, you can see that I have it changed to a black cross. If I click without releasing, I click and drag down, you can see that it's going to automatically fill to 10. So that is self-filling. So without me just typing randomly, I just have to click and drag and it fill. Now, one thing you have to understand with your arrow or your mouse is that it has three operations. Three operations. We have this particular operation where the cursor is very big, which is used for selection. So this particular kind of cursor is used for selection. Now we have another one which appears at the bottom left corner of every cell. When you take the cursor down to the bottom left corner, it appears like a little cross. Now when it's there, it's another operation, and what this does is for filling. So if I should just drag this particular cell down, you are going to see that it's going to fill everything to 1. So now note the difference. Let me repeat that. So I have 1 here, I have 1 and I have 2 here. So I click this cell, I take my mouse down to the bottom left corner and I drag. You can see I just have 1 1 1 1 all through. I select this and I select both 1 and 2, my mouse at the bottom left corner, and I drag it down and see it's labeled 1 to 10. What if I have numbers like this, 2, 4, and I select both of them and I drag it down? You see it gives them a difference of 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, just like that. What if I have 1 and 3? So these are odd numbers and I drag down. You can see 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and it goes on. So we have 3 mouse operation I've shown you two. So we have this big one that is used for selection and the one that appears at the bottom of every cell or cells that are selected. That's this particular one. Now there is another one that appears at the outlining of your selected cell that looks like um, arrows joined together. Now this is used for changing the position of your cell. So if I do that, if I click and hold and move, you see that the position of the cells change. So how did I do that? Just take the mouse over it at the line, the outline of your selected cells, then click and drag. You can see that it's going to move. Now you see how this is being used. This function, moving cell, adding cell, deleting cell, undo and redo actions. Now let's go to our Excel sheet. Now you can see we filled this with odd numbers, so I can decide to add these columns together. So I can just come here, write my formula equal to, then sum. Don't worry, I'm going to learn all this formula. I open my brackets, I have my first cell, this, I have my semicolon, and then I click the last cell and I close the bracket and equal to, you can see everything add up to be 100. So I already taught you how to move a cell, so you just have to take your mouse to the outline of the cell and drag it. So note this, when you drag a particular cell and the formula is in that cell, the formula also move with the cell. Now if I want to undo my action, all I have to do is what, press Ctrl Z on your keyboard, Ctrl Z. And we also have the function here. This is undo, while this is redo. So redo, you can see that this is undo. So undo is Ctrl Z, while redo is Ctrl Y. Ctrl Y. So when you want to delete a cell, it's just very simple. Simply click on the cell you want to delete and press delete on your keyboard or backspace. So if you press backspace, it's going to delete, or you press delete on your keyboard and then you are going to have it deleted. So okay, now let's go further on Excel formulas. We said formulas are used for mathematical calculation and they always start with the equal sign. Formula can be used such as equal to 1 plus 1, 2 times 2 and the rest. It can also be used to calculate values using cell as input. So I can also decide to do something like this when it comes to calculation. So I have car, I have items I want to buy for this month. So these are items I would like to buy for this month. I have a car, I have a house, I have what else? Of course, it's Christmas, so I have chicken coming in, and I have a private jet coming in. So let's say these are the prices of this item. So my car costs $5,000. The house I'm buying is about $50,000. The chicken costs $2, and then my private jet is $100,000. This is just for educational purpose, please. Now I can decide to sum this up so that I can have this value as the. Okay, so when you want to add all this together, all you just have to do is to put equal sign here. We can simply add this by just we can simply add this by just clicking the cell and then write plus, click the next cell, plus, click the next cell, plus, and you click the next cell and press enter. So you're going to have a total of this. But instead of doing that, I will simply write equal to sum, open the bracket. The first cell here is J15, so I can just write J15. Then my semicolon to J18, J18, and then close the bracket and enter. You can simply see this. So I have this price to be total of all the items I want to buy. So I can have here total. All right. So let's assume that the price of the car changed when I got to where I want to buy it. All I have to do is to come here and write the new price of the car. Let's now assume it's 8,000. So I put 8,000. When you do that, notice what is going to happen here. The value is going to change. Now you see it's changed by itself. Why? Because this particular cell is already included in this formula. This particular cell is already included in this formula. If I type anything outside the cell, you can see that this is not adding up. But if I should come here and I have a discount for the house and I'm asked to pay just $800, and I come here and I change this to $800 and I click enter, you can see that the value of the total has also changed. So this is how to write formulas. So when you want to write formula, just click anywhere and put your equal to sign and then you write your formula. Always remember that every formula starts with the equal sign in Excel. So now there's what you call referencing in Excel. References are used in formulas to do calculation, and the fill function can be used to continue formulas sideways, downwards, and upwards. Excel has two types of referencing. We have relative references and absolute references. So we have been doing referencing, but you might not know that it's referencing. Now, what exactly do we mean by referencing? Now, this cell M11, M11 can be duplicated here just by simply doing what we call relative referencing. So I want T15 to be equal to M11. That simply means whatever value that comes in M11 should appear in T15. So what do I have to do? I just have to reference. So I just put my equal to sign. T15 is equal to M11 and I click enter. So when I do that, whatever value I'm going to put in M11, it will automatically reflect in T15. So whatever value that comes here, 900, automatically reflect here. So let's do something different. So let's assume I just have this to be read, and I come here and I say, oh, the total money I need to withdraw. Let's assume I'm going to go to bank to withdraw this. So if that becomes the total money I need to withdraw, that means I can say equal to J19. So you see that J19. So whatever value that comes in J19 is going to appear in R21. So that is what we call relative referencing. That's what we call relative referencing.